What's going on, team? Glad you made it back to another quick workout video. Today I'm be showing you exactly how to start and do your handstands. So the first tip you gotta do and make sure that you counted for is warming up your wrists. You always gotta make sure you're warming up your wrists, especially if you're new to handstands, because going upside down and putting all of your body weight on your hands and your wrists is gonna be a tremendous amount of pressure that you're not used to. And if you overdo it and if you go too fast too soon, then you're definitely gonna, well, hopefully not, you might be able to cause yourself to have some sort of wrist injury. So always make sure you warm up your wrists and take care of them. You know, do your rotations, do the floor extensions that we had done on the floor to make sure that your wrists are good and warmed up, and make sure that you stretch them before night just so that they get extra flexible for when you're ready to do your handstands. So step 2, after you finish making sure that you warmed up your wrist, the second step is to make sure that you get comfortable with the feeling of being upside down. So a lot of people, especially when I train people and help people get comfortable with the handstand, when they're going into the handstand, a major thing that they have that stops them from being confident with their handstands is the fact that they're not able to they don't feel comfortable enough to go into the handstand because they don't understand the feeling. So their body alignment will be completely off just because of they're not comfortable being upside down. So you got to practice these to make sure that you're really good with your body alignment, and after you get more and more comfortable, you elevate your feet. That way you can get closer and closer to what a handstand would feel like. So the third tip that I'm going to show you guys, and grateful that we're out here because this is actually where I learned how to do my handstand for the first time ever. So right here is the second tip you're going to be doing that I show you, is to kick up on the wall. So you want to make sure that your hands are about shoulder width apart. You bring your knee close to your chest, that way your center of gravity is short, and you take one leg to kick up and you practice the kicking up motion just like this. You switch legs, that way you don't get imbalanced. So you do 3 on one side, go for 3 on the other side. Eventually you'll be able to get the strength to kick up completely if you don't get it on the first try, but if you do, even better. So you kick up, and once you hold it, go straight into it. Try to hold it, feel the feeling of being upside down, keep everything tight, push the floor away from you, hold that until you can't any longer, and then you can slowly start coming down. Either you come down with your feet just like how you kicked up, you could come down into a tucked knee negative, or you can even come down into a full or a straddled negative, just like that. So that's very important to help you get comfortable with your handstands. That's always going to keep you into feeling the upside down feeling, and it's one of the next steps right away shy from being into the full handstand. So after you're good with kicking up, I would say the next step afterwards is to walk up backwards. That takes a lot more shoulder, wrist, and core strength to help you feel the line. So I'm going to show you how to do that now as well. So you would want to start from as low as you can with your feet. Go high up and try to get your hands as close to your wall as possible. Keep your core tight, get your body aligned, and make sure you're real straight, just like this. But this takes a lot more practice and more strength. An important tip is to know when to stop. So if you start giving out, and you're not strong enough to do it, time yourself. So give yourself, I'll say 5 seconds. Go up, come back down, see how you feel. Because it can get to the point, and I've been stuck in that situation before too, where you go a little too far and you push yourself, and then you're stuck and you don't know how to get back down. So safe ways to do that are to crawl forward with your hands, just like how I got back up, how I went back down just now as I showed you. Other ways to do it are to come to your sides. So if you're up top, you want to try to walk down, or even bring your feet to the side and you can bring your feet to the other side. Worst comes to worst, you flip forward. Hopefully you're on a soft ground where it shouldn't hurt you too much. Right now I'm on a turf in the field. It wouldn't hurt too much, but it would still give you some type of pain. So I wouldn't advocate for you to do it that way. If you're able to catch yourself and not hurt yourself, or even hit your face on the repercussions of coming back down, then you'll be straight. After you're comfortable with doing it on the wall and you feel good, you feel aligned, you're able to hold yourself up, and you're comfortable with being upside down, one of the last steps that you could do is doing what we did on the wall, kicking up, but without the wall. So now you'll be able to feel how it is to go up and hopefully not flip over. If you flip over, it's okay because you're first starting out. It's gonna happen. You gotta get your balance and coordination right. But eventually, you'll be able to do it without flipping over. A key tip that helps you from stopping to flip over is your hand positioning. So when you're on the floor, you wanna press through your fingertips if you feel like your feet are gonna start going in front of you. If you feel like your feet are gonna come back down to where you started, then you would wanna push through your palms to help you feel more aligned. So that way, you're staying centered. So when you kick up, just like how you would do on the wall, keep yourself centered, arms straight. You kick up into the handstand, then I get it, go. And then you hold up, and then you hold your balance. And you stop yourself from falling, your fingertips, help yourself feel aligned, keep your core tight, everything tight. Oh. And then if you fall over, you fall over. Depending on when you do it, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the middle of the day, if you stressed, if you're not stressed, if you worked out, if you ate, everything depends when you're doing handstands. The slightest little thing, even what you wear, might mess up how you do your handstand. So if it feels comfortable with you one day, the next day it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just keep practicing on it and you're definitely gonna get it without a doubt. Final tip that you could do, this requires more strength. So it's something to practice for if you're really into it, but it's pressing into the handstand. So this will take a lot more of your bent arm strength to press you up into it. So there's different ways to get it. So you can do it by going into a frog stand, like I'll show you here. You can come from the frog stand, just like this, press, and then get yourself up, just like that. Or you can go into a full or a straddled press, where you come down into the floor. This requires a lot more strength. So you come down, and you press your body up. Hopefully you're able to catch yourself. So if you're doing that, a full version, which would be with your legs together, is a lot harder because your gravity is being elongated. So now you have to press up your whole body. If you're straddling yourself out, now you have a higher center of gravity and it's easier. It's like you're pushing up less weight. So I'm going to show you that right here as well. So if you're going into a straddled position, from right there, it's easier. Also, if you're doing your handstands, if you're straddling out your legs, it's going to make it feel a lot easier than if you have your legs straight together. Me personally, I started doing my handstands with my legs straight, so it feels easier to me when I do it with my legs straight. So it took me a little time to get them with my legs straddled, but for most people, doing a handstand with your legs straddled, which is open up apart, just like this, is going to be easier for you to do because you're going to be holding less weight. So another thing that you want to do, practice on, is your body alignment and positioning. So the handstand is usually easiest done when all of your joints align with themselves. So if you're able to have your knees on top of your ankles, your hip bone or your hip joints on top of your knees, your shoulders on top of your hips, and your wrists on top of them all, just like this, and hold the perfect positioning with everything tight, you should be fine. So this is also a key point that you should be doing to ensure that you have a straight handstand. Practicing this positioning before going upside down to make sure that you have what it takes to put that pressure on you when you do go upside down. Depending on how you start your handstands, you may find it more comfortable, or even who you are, you might find it more comfortable doing it on your hands, or you might find it easier doing it on parallettes. Doing it on parallettes is going to take a lot of the wrist factor away from you, so it's going to feel easier on your wrist when you're doing it, but it may be a little harder with coordination. So when you're doing your handstands, if you're doing it on the floor, you're pressing through your fingertips to push yourself back and pressing through your palms to push yourself forward. When you're doing it on the parallettes, it's different. So you're using your wrist to stop you from moving forward and pushing you from going too far back. So depending on how you start your handstands, like I said, I started doing them here on the floor, so it was with my hands. I feel most comfortable doing it like that with my hands. But if you find it more easier with the parallettes, then do them with the parallettes. I would always advocate to practice both. I feel more comfortable doing them with my hands, but I still practice the parallettes because it's always nice to vary how you do your training and do different styles of training and practice in different ways. You can practice on dip bars, you can practice on parallettes, and they all escalate to different things and different moves to further improve your training. So thank you all for watching the video. If you learned something new, if you learned anything new, please like, share, make sure to comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you all next time. Make sure you squeeze, breathe, and believe through all your exercises. Stay humble, stay positive, take care. Peace.